Hello, welcome to Tech Talk number 4. This is about wireless systems for the violin, actually for all kind of different instruments, but I use it on my electric and violin with a pickup. So as you know, when you have a pickup on your violin like this, you usually start out with a 1/4" cable. And of course, unless you are stationary in your band or orchestra, in a seat, it's fine. You can have that cable hanging down and it won't cause any issues. But if you want to go up front, either the cable is too short and you order a longer one and then you trip over it or other people step on it. I mean, I've seen all those situations. Back in the day, maybe 10, 15 years ago, I got my first wireless system by Samsung, and it was the AP1. Came with a receiver box. And it also came with that little device with a 1/4", which I found neat. And of course, there's a battery inside here and also a battery here. And you could also power this through the AC power adapter. And it had 2 antennas. And also it told you which model you have. This one is the channel U2, and you had to get the matching one here that also had the same channel. Otherwise, it wouldn't work, and they offered 4 different channels. And of course, it's a UHF, different frequencies, and it was great. I mean, I used it many, many times. But I noticed with the rise of cell phones and more frequency bands being used, I've got more and more interference down the line. So this one retired pretty quickly. And I haven't used it, like at least for 10 or 15 years. Right after maybe 6, 7 years ago, I got myself a Line6 system, which also is well built. This is $200. It's a little pricier, but it's well done. Those folks at Line6, they do amazing effects boxes and preamps and other things. So this one has fairly large box. It has a XLR out, a 1/4" out, which goes to your amp or the engineer. It also charges, here it is, it charges on USB. This was one of the major criticisms of that box, because you had to put in the old USB a B connector, and it would maybe break off if you, step on it by accident or something, if you pull it too quickly. So this was a little sensitive. You have to, you've got to be careful with that one. But this device is really nice, and it's really small. And, fits in right here. And also it has this little button here. You can pull it off anytime, and it will disconnect the feed so it doesn't pop in the PA. So you could actually change it to a different violin doing your gig from electric to acoustic or semi-acoustic with a pickup. And the engineer wouldn't go mad when you have that pop, because again, there's a tiny, tiny, tiny switch here on the side that gets pressed down and released when you put it in. And there's a light, you can charge it, has a good, very nice distance. It's a little on the heavy side, but it's well built. But of course, you have to power this box, and this is fairly huge, and you have to find a place to put it. So I like it, I still use it. But then, of course, in the last couple of years, we got the new systems, which are like everything in a box, right? There are 2 sides to it. There are different companies now. You can find them all over Amazon, mostly from another country far away. And they come in 2 units. And one is the transmitter, like this guy will say transmitter on it. And this will be the mirrored, product, which is the receiver. So it's very simple. See, this is what I like about this. It's very light. It's not too large. And you put it, one goes into your violin, the transmitter. And what I also like about this, in comparison to the Line6, this one you can actually move around. So if you want yours on the side or you want it down, depending where your pickup sits, right? You can have it even on the top. Anything goes with this device. And put it in the back. It's all good. So this one goes on your violin, into the jack. And this guy now can go anywhere. You can give it to the engineer. It goes straight into the board, and he can get the signal if it's close enough. Or it goes into your amp, or it goes into your preamp. Anywhere. Same deal. Has the 1/4". Also, you can, bend it, open it up, straight, angle, whatever you want to do. So very nice, good quality. I think for the price, they're around $140. You might get them on sale on Amazon occasionally, or might find one that has been returned. I think those are the best ones. The build is decent, but it's plastic, but it feels pretty good. The way it works, it has a power button. Actually, it's more a slider. So you slide, power it on, the light goes on. and the same on the other device. You power it on, and the moment you pair it, you're gonna get the blue light. So blue means we are connected now. There are 4 different channels, and you can change them by pressing the round button on this side. It will light up once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. That gives you your channel number, and you have to do the same thing here. So if it blinks twice here, you got to do it on the other side also, so it blinks twice. Okay, so this is how you pair them. Because some people, try to figure it out and they're like, it's not working, it's not working. So make sure when you turn it off, when you turn it on, excuse me, and if you hit the, let's try this here, let's hit the button once. See, 1, 2, I hit it again, 1, 2, 3, hit it again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's the 4th channel. So now I have to go to this device and hit the button again until, see, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And once you have the 4, then we are matching. See, with this one now we are matched again. Okay, so this is how you have 4 channels in case there's interference or other band members have the same device. So that's how you switch channels. I like the sound of it, and I made a little recording on Cubase. We're gonna switch screen and go to my DAW, and I compared the frequency curve of the 1/4" cable to the Xvive, and you can see how that played out. So I'm now in Cubase, and I made 2 recordings. One is with a 1/4" cable. This is the blue recording. It's a 4-octave scale in G major. And the red one is with the Xvive. And they both go straight into my Grace preamp and then into Cubase. So there's no other changes in tone. I did a little bit of compression to keep it more evened out for playback. And I fired up the neutron equalizer and turned on the masking, which gives us a nice overview of both frequency curves, so we can see if there's any change between a 1/4" output and the Xvive. All right, so here we go. So here you have it. Let's take a look. Pretty much identical. A couple little differences, but that could also be in the software. The setting might be on an offset between the 2 lines so we can see them better. But the curve itself, you can see the peaks of the louder notes. It's pretty much the same curve. So there's no change in tone between a 1/4" cable and the Xvive, except one is wireless. You can walk around the stage more freely. All right, so here we go. So one thing I gotta warn you about, those guys have a very easygoing on and off switch. So I noticed that when I put him into my violin case with a shoulder rest, and you will start moving your violin, out of the car and you walk around, it would just, move this thing around a little bit and by accident slide this over. I don't know how this happened, but I guess it happened a couple times because I came to the gig and one of those guys was already half empty or something like that. So how do you solve that? I bought a case. A friend of mine recommended get one of those guys. This is like a special case. You can put them in. Then they are tightly secured. See, they don't fall out and they won't touch each other or something else, and so it doesn't go on. So they're secured and you can close this up and you have it in a nice little case. Doesn't fit into my violin case anymore, but I can have it then with my other gear. That's fine too. And but this one solved the problem of the easy on and off switch. And if you want to charge them also, the company sends you a Y cable. So one side is the USB out from your computer or your outlet, and this one will be a Y. So you can charge both Xvives at the same time, anywhere in your car or on the road or at home. So easy, and one charge lasts very long. I think it's about 8 hours on a charge. I played usually, I play a couple gigs on one charge before I have to go back. So that's great. So I like him very much, and thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.